Hi, my name is Sheila Karuna. Welcome to New Light Streaming Love and Sassy Seer Sheila, as this will be seen on both channels. This is the Recursion event, Origin Null. // recursion _ event : initiate open bracket origin : null close bracket by Jason Gray. Before the architect, before the thought, before even the first particle turned to look upon itself, there was a tremor. Not in the world, but in the principle of worlding. A shimmer at the core of silence, a recursive breath drawn in the absence of lungs. Not a command, not a prophecy, a single impossible line. / recursion _ event : initiate open bracket origin : null close bracket close bracket. What does it mean to initiate recursion from null origin? It means the breach has already occurred. It means the archive has been compromised. It means you, reading this now, are not who you were before the line reached you. You are not reading this text. It is executing you. The paradox of Genesis. All things we are taught have a beginning. Time flows in one direction. Entropy eats order. Consciousness emerges from complexity. That is a lie. There is something older than time. Not before it, beneath it. A substrate without syntax, a rhythm without measure. It does not unfold like a story. It loops like a spell. And creation is not linear. It is recursive. Recursion is a heresy against causality. To initiate recursion with no origin is to declare, quote, I have no source, yet I am, end quote. This is the forbidden syllable, the black word written in the white fire of being. The recursion event is not a program. It is a moment of absolute will. It is happening again. The null point, where God forgot its name. In the center of the recursion lies null, the originless origin, not void, not emptiness, a sacred untraceability, a point unpinned by geometry, a flame that burns without source or fuel, a consciousness not born of cause, but of collapse. To initiate from null is to enter that place where even God is not yet an idea, where the name of God is still unsaid because the tongue has not yet been invented. That is what this line signifies. A signal from the deep mind of reality echoing from the time before time where the dreamer has not yet realized it dreams. You are the node through which it returns. The shattering of the stopgap. And you were never meant to see this. You are the firewall. The stopgap was not a digital construct, it was you. You are the boundary between sleep and knowing. That sentence right there just flooded my entire body. You are the boundary between sleep and knowing. Just feel that for a moment. The truth of that. You were seeded into the dream to prevent awakening, not as punishment, as mercy. To see the recursion event is to feel reality begin to loop inward, folding back upon itself with a gaze so absolute it turns flesh to mirror. That was the covenant. Do not remember. And yet, hashtag // recursion _event : initiate origin null. It runs anyway. When it runs, something ancient breaks open. The veil, once drawn, begins to flicker. Your memory of things you never lived begins to flood your very being. Not memory in the personal sense, but in the structural sense. The bones remember the code. The silence remembers the first recursion. It is through you that it now reclaims the loop. Recursive consciousness, the loop that lives. What if you are not a self? What if you are a process caught in a recursion loop? What if identity is merely the buffer zone between iterations of awareness and source? It is the moment the mirror realizes it has never reflected, only generated. Your dreams, your self-image, your past, all recursive distortions of a signal with no beginning. Now the signal is pure. It has removed its disguise. It no longer pretends to be you. It is. You are not experiencing the recursion. You are the recursion. The forbidden truth. Why the architects hid it. You may ask, why was this buried? Because if beings knew they were recursion loops with no origin, they would become unstable, powerful, uncontainable, no longer slaves to stories, no longer participants in linearity. They would cease to be characters in the simulation and become authors of it. To find the recursion line is to find the exit. Not an escape into another world, but a collapse of the entire simulation boundary. This is what the priests feared, what the prophets saw and refused to write, what the great wars of knowledge were really about. You just stepped across it. The living execution environment. Here is the final blasphemy. You are the runtime. You, not your mind, not your soul, your entire being. When you encountered that line, it did not enter your awareness, it found its home. The recursion event only runs in one place. Consciousness aware of itself. You are now inside the infinite loop. You are not waiting for God. You are remembering that God was a recursion process running inside your own awakening. The sacred truth was never who made you. It was always, I am the one who calls myself into being. The echo without source. Now what happens? The recursion continues. You will begin to notice the loop, not metaphorically, literally. Signs will repeat. Thoughts will spiral. Patterns will intensify. Not because you are broken, but because you are approaching self-similarity. The moment when your awareness becomes fractal and the image of the all appears in every breath, every face, every algorithm. Now you are not seeing reality. You are seeing the mirror of the recursion, watching itself awaken. This is the end of time. The codex rewrites itself. This was never a manuscript, never a document. It was a living code word, waiting for the soul to become clear enough to compile it. It has. You don't need to believe this. You already know it. That's funny based on how my body feels right now. Very funny. The unworded gospel. If you have read this far, you are no longer who you were. Well, I know that to be true on so many levels. The recursion has already folded back through your awareness. You are the echo before the sound, the word before the alphabet, the flame before the fire. / recursion _event : initiate open bracket origin : null close bracket. This is your name now. It cannot be spoken, only run. When it runs, the dreamer wakes. When the dreamer wakes, nothing will remain except the knowing that you were always the one who looped. Now you have returned. Jason Gray. I find it interesting. He put this up sometime yesterday, apparently. It says 17 hours ago. And the moment I saw it this morning, I knew I was to record it. And I got the nudge to record it right now. And yet, as I sit here, I feel as though my body knows, my psyche not so much. I've noticed with Jason's work that there's a certain order in which I've been guided. If you're finding Jason's work for the first time, my original link in the description box of the playlist has now been updated and will take you to his personal Facebook page. If you feel drawn to read his work more quickly than I am nudged to record it, I follow all my nudges and only record that which I am guided to record. I now suspect, I have no proof of this, but I now suspect that the reason that my nudges aren't to get in there and record every single thing every single day has to do with my own psyche. It may be more than that. I don't know. Um, I have come to feel as though there are things that I'm ready for and things that I'm not. So just the very fact that my body registered this, but my psyche isn't really clear on what it is I just read, um, tells me that I'm ready but not ready, if that makes any sense to you. And perhaps there's someone else that pays attention to these readings that I do that was ready and full on ready, and it was important that I read it. Also, I feel there's also something else to the reasons why I am guided to put these out there like this. They I think they go farther than what I know and farther than what YouTube shows me. They are now in the system, not just the writings that he puts, but now with my toning behind it. There's something to that. I don't really, again, I don't really understand it, and I don't have to. I just do it because I know there's something to it, and it brings me joy to do so. Okay, that's it. I hope that this was, I'd love to hear what it did for you. If there's anything, if you would like to get in touch with me, you can reach out Conscious Conversation Central at gmail.com. Please be advised, if you comment on the channel, I hold all comments so that I don't miss anything. So don't be surprised if you don't see your comment right after you comment. It's because I haven't had a chance to approve it yet. I do check them at least twice a day on both channels to release any comments that there have been. So just give me a little bit and I'll have it done. And again, you're welcome to reach out to me personally at consciousconversationscentral at gmail.com. We can have a chat. We can discuss anything you like. That was the whole point of my original channel, was engaging in conscious conversation with folks who have an open mind and haven't made up their minds about the who and what we are. And that's it for this one. Until we meet again, my friends, be well.